Hi, everybody. I'm Doug.
And I'm Lori.
And this is the recap for week 3 of
Balboa.
Balboa, yes, at Wednesday Night Hop, February 2020. So we worked on some review of stuff from last week, but in particular started to try to think about lilt as which we introduced last week, as really a function of feeling the music and moving to the music. So we actually stayed on one entire foot, or sort of both feet, but shifting from foot to foot, letting our body move to the music to feel our lilt before we moved at all with steps. And so we'd like do this for 4, 6, 8 counts. And then as we got used to it, we'd add in our quick motion. And eventually we got back into our full basic, adding in quicks, and thinking about releases, which we talked about last week, as an extension of the lilt and the repeated quicks. Hoo, 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 hoo. So we can release to the side if we're lilting to the side. We can release back or forward if we're lilting back and forward. And then we use that to introduce our new thing for this week, which was the Daffy Duck. Hoo, 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 hoo. That move comes from Ed and Inez Thompson. You can look at Who's Who in Pure Balboa. Type that into Google. An article from Swung Over will pop up. That's where you want to look for Ed and Inez Thompson. And this move they called the Daffy Duck. We found that out relatively recently through the work of Lewis Orchard, a Balboa historian out of the UK. So the idea here is these are forward and back releases that are going back and forward right underneath. So we're lilting just enough to release, not enough to travel. That's going to pull us back into a basic. So we practiced.
In a pattern, we did a full basic 8. And on that last 8, we kind of like transitioned into our Daffy Duck. And then we took the last 8 of that Daffy Duck and transitioned back into basic. So It looks like this from counts. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, another way to think about that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lilt, 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, 6, 7. Back, 2, 2. That's the way I really try to emphasize the difference between staying on the spot, adding just a little bit of lilt for release, versus traveling into or out of a basic.
Yeah. Then we did triples.
Yes. So we did what are sometimes called downhold triples. They're the same 8-count rhythm that we use in Lindy Hop. They look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because we're doing Balboa, we want to keep our feet connected to the ground most of the time. So we don't want to lift a ton. Instead, we're doing sort of a step, push, step. Step, push, step. Step, push, step. So we're pushing off of one foot and just sliding our forward foot or backwards foot just a tiny bit.
It can feel a little bit like a hiccup. And then we did that partnered, and we added a little bit lilt if you wanted.
Look like this. Ba, do, da, da. Ba, do, da, da. Ba, ba, da.
And we talked about how this is an optional thing. You might feel your partner do it. We're not masking it from each other. But if we're keeping our footwork pretty small, then we could have someone doing something else and someone else tripling. And it doesn't really matter. We can feel that in each other, but it's definitely a creative choice that we have.
One of the things that I really like about Balboa is going into a mode where you're trying to feel what your partner is doing and matching that. almost to the point where you end up making decisions and not knowing who wanted to do them in the first place. So I'd encourage you to, both as a leader and follow, occasionally try to go into that mode where, oh, is my partner wanting to dance with a certain amount of lilt or triples or fans or some other thing, and see if you can match that and sort of go into a mode where you can't tell where that idea is coming from. It's a very cool feeling.
And this is true from both the leader angle and the follow angle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep working on that stuff and see you in a while.
Next week.